One of the most notable and iconic action movies of all time is the 80s classic Die Hard, which, like most successful action movies of the time, would lead to there being multiple sequels. So with the Christmas season upon us and 2 of the 5 films in the franchise taking place around the holidays, I thought what better time than to go back and see how I personally would rank the Die Hard films. So coming in at the bottom of the barrel is A Good Day to Die Hard, which is sadly the last entry in the franchise, at least up to this point, and unfortunately a very forgetful one at that. And that honestly I would say is really the best way to describe this one, as it's just a really forgetful and generic action movie that really just doesn't get anywhere close to feeling like a true Die Hard film.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
I mean, the Die Hard is Back battery commercial from 2020 is much more memorable and entertaining than this whole movie, so you know you're in trouble when a 2-minute commercial is more fun to watch than an entire hour-and-a-half movie. It's not the worst action movie ever made, it's not even the worst movie that Bruce Willis has ever done, but it certainly is very far from deserving to have the Die Hard title. It just isn't really worth watching.
Do you think I understand a word you say?
Next up, we have Live Free or Die Hard, the 4th film in the franchise, and this one I would say suffers from very much the same problems as the last movie, but with one major difference, that this one is actually a pretty entertaining action movie, but also lacks a lot of the DNA from the first 3 films, still giving it that very much generic action movie look and feel, which keeps this one back for me. But it's well made enough where it's still worth at least one watch, just don't expect it to be quite as memorable or as rewatchable as some of the other movies in the franchise.
Did you see that?
And then next up, we have Die Hard 2, Die Harder, which, I mean, that right there is just one of the greatest subtitles to any sequel ever. This is perhaps the most divided of all the Die Hard films, I would say. It's always one that I've had a great time with. It's basically for the most part just the first movie, but set in an airport instead of a skyscraper. But it is very intentionally supposed to be like a repeat of the first film, but it does still manage to have its own twists and turns and standout moments, making it still a very entertaining sequel, just not quite on the same level as the original film. Next up, we have Die Hard with a Vengeance, the 3rd film in the franchise with director John McClane returning after directing the first film, and it is for many the best film in the series, which I can certainly understand why, because it truly is a very well made and suspenseful film that's not just a repeat of the first 2 films, but still is able to retain much of the DNA of those films, but also going in its own direction as well. A large part of that is because originally it wasn't even written to be a Die Hard movie, but was later reworked into one. It gets the balance just right between old and new, making it a really fantastic sequel that is able to stand out amongst the rest of the films in the franchise in a good way.
Guy back there called you Jesus. He didn't say Jesus, he said, hey, Zeus. My name is Zeus. Zeus? Yeah, Zeus. As in father of Apollo, Mount Olympus. Don't fuck with me or I'll shove a lightning bolt up your ass.
And then of course, at number 1, we have the original Die Hard, which, regardless if you consider this to be a Christmas movie or not, it's just a fantastic movie, period. And even with its format being ripped off and replicated throughout the years, it still manages to be just as fresh and exciting as when it first came out, because it really is a truly well-made film, and it was a film that was made in a time when big screen action heroes were practically indestructible. And then you get Bruce Willis as John McClane, who was just a regular New York City cop who happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time, which gives Die Hard a certain level of relatability that still makes it stand out amongst action movies today, has not just made it remain as one of the greatest action movies of all time, but also as the best film in the Die Hard franchise, and if you consider it a Christmas movie, one of the all-time greats.
Welcome to the party, pal!
Alright guys, there you go, that is the way that I would rank the Die Hard franchise. Feel free to jump in the comments down below and let me know how you would rank all of the Die Hard movies, and until next time, be sure to consume as much entertainment as humanly possible, and I will see you in the next video.